Welcome back to hawkeyeskunkworks. Sorry it's dark. Let's walk over to the garage a minute and I'll flip on a light. Maybe if you can tell, it snowed. The door is frozen. There we go. Ha! It snowed today. It started with freezing rain and then it snowed, and it's nighttime. So we figured, why not take the kids to go get some ice cream? We are going to do something that has never been done before. The cheapest 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner in the entire country. I have bought another 4Runner.
Dad, everything is blowing!
And that, my friends, is one of the greatest parts about being here. Whew. It's chilly. Not sure I mentioned it. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I am Joe, and yeah, this is lots of people tend to avoid going out on the roads when it's snowing. We're weird where we like to find an excuse to go out and actually do some driving. It's not very bad out, so nobody freak out. Yeah, actually I wanted to take the Explorer. I don't know if you guys are in focus or not. I wanted to take the Explorer, but then I realized all of my recovery gear and shovel and recovery boards and all the car seats were already in the 4Runner, so we're just gonna take the 4Runner. Plus, if somebody were to hit me and I had to get a bunch of body work done, I'd prefer it go into this, not into the vehicle that I'm getting ready to sell. So there's that. Well, that was kind of disappointing. The roads weren't bad at all, not in the slightest. And then Dairy Queen was closed, so we had to run into Target and we just bought some ice cream, brought us home. Did a couple donuts, stuck it in 4 high. It did okay. The traction control is so invasive. The tires even think about breaking loose and it cuts power, so you gotta just hammer down the whole time. But on that little slope, it did okay. It was fun. So grab the GoPro off of there, and we gotta do some other stuff tomorrow. What's up? New day, and today I had to pull the battery out of the Jeep. I've been driving the Explorer all week, and so of course, with the cold weather and not driving the Jeep, the battery it's gotten weak and it won't start it, so I had to bring it in, get that put on, slow charge, and we'll go from there. Now that we're in the garage, I got a couple things for Christmas that I think you guys are going to enjoy seeing, because they're going to lead into a couple projects. One small project, one slightly more advanced project. Let me grab the first thing. First up on the menu, some Rego Fab shock skids for the 4Runner. These are for the rear shocks, the lower mounts. It's kind of a low-hanging fruit, if you will. On the 4Runners, that rear lower mount hangs really far below the axle, and so these are skids. You pull the bolt out that holds the shock in on the bottom, and this goes over the shock. Bolt goes through there. There's some holes here where hardware goes through there and through the the factory shock bracket to hold it all into place. I am gonna try to do some custom stuff with these. There's some other brands that have protection for that shock bolt. which these don't have, which is not really necessary. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some thick washers. So I'll take a thick washer and then a piece of round pipe that's bigger than the bolt head and big enough for me to fit a socket through. Weld a little chunk of that pipe to that washer, and so I'll put it on like a washer. It'll stick up past the bolt head and help protect it. So I'll be glad to put these on. I will probably wait until spring or the weather breaks at least, because there's so much salt on the roads and it's just gonna start these rusting. So that being said, I'm also going to replace the rear shocks on this. I have the, if you remember, the Tacoma TRD off-road, the blue and yellow Bilsteins, and they're okay. I think they're getting a little tired, but they just don't ride super well as I would have liked with the 4Runner. So I need some input from you all on what I should run. Should I just go with the 5100s like everyone else seems to do? I don't know if it's because they're just readily available, they're relatively inexpensive, they're good quality. I have a full set of 5100s on the Jeep. They're okay, they're fine. So I could get those. Pro Comp makes a set of shocks for this. I haven't really been able to find anything about that. I know Pro Comp's kind of like, no one sees anything from Pro Comp anymore. I had a full set of Pro Comp shocks on my 96 Explorer Sport back in the day, and they were great. They were fine. And they're slightly less expensive. And I think they are actually, so one of my biggest complaints about the 5100s, this has the 2.5-inch Old Man Emu springs. Those shocks are only an inch longer, but I think the Pro Comps are a full 2 inches longer, so I'd get a little bit more travel. I don't know. And then I see Rancho makes, I don't know what model, the ones with the dial that you can adjust the damping. Those are about the same price as the 5100s. I need to check the shock length of those, but I haven't seen anybody running those, so I'm kind of curious if anybody has any input on that. I'm not going to go with Dobinson or Toy Tech or Old Man Emu. They're just too expensive for what I'm going to be doing. I also have been looking at Ironman 4x4, Australian company. Seem like they're very similarly priced shocks, similarly built gas shocks. So if anybody has experience or some input on any of that, comment down below, email me. Let me know what you think, and we will get a new set of shocks put on in the spring, and of course we'll talk about them then and review them as time goes on. Next thing I'm really excited about. Let me go grab it. This is also for the 4Runner. This is the Badlands Harbor Freight Universal Winch Plate, and that is also going to go in the 4th gen as a DIY low-profile hidden winch mount. So let's throw the hood open on this, and I'll kind of give you a real quick rundown on how that's going to go. Alright, hood is open. We got the radiators, transcooler in here. This is the front bumper, and as you can see, lots and lots of room for activities. There is my homemade skid plate filler piece. I'm going to zoom down here, and once it focuses, you can see where the frame rail meets the little extension that goes into the bumper, and there is 3 bolts holding that together. I don't think they're quite 1/2-inch bolts, but they're fairly good size. So what a lot of people do, well, I say a lot, I've seen several people do this. They will take that winch plate and mount it right down in here, because it fits basically perfectly. The unbolt that frame from the bumper piece, weld on a piece of angle iron, and of course we'll go through all of this later. Onto the ends of that, drill corresponding holes and sandwich the angle iron in between those I guess, I don't know, they're not brackets, but flanges. And then, coming back, the winch, literally, the winch plate, the fair lead, you just cut this little grill, sticks out right here, and it is a perfectly hidden, low profile, low weight winch mount. Of course, there's companies that make the kind of the winch mounts that you have to cut out the front of the bumper and it's kind of a skid, but they're still 500 bucks. This is way cheaper. So I'm really excited about that. I've never had a winch on a vehicle. I really like the idea of being completely self-sufficient, or as self-sufficient as you can be, with recovery gear. And I think that's gonna make a really awesome, hopefully relatively simple DIY project. I think I have some stout enough angle iron already here. And of course we'll just grind down the coating on that, weld it up really good, make sure we get good penetration. And I'll probably drill out those holes on the flanges so I can run full like grade 8 1/2-inch hardware. And it will probably, this is definitely going to be a spring project, maybe a summer project. It just depends on how things go, because I will most likely wait until Mrs. HSW gets a different vehicle so that I can blow the whole front end of this 4Runner off, and it's probably going to take 2-3 weeks to kind of fab everything up, and she's probably not going to want to drive it around with no front end on it. So that's probably what the plan is gonna be. I've been driving, like I said, the Explorer, and it's been fantastic. I forgot how well this thing drives. Everything has been dialed in, it's running and driving excellent. I've got most of like the adhesive stuff off from stickers, and gonna repowder coat those front tow hooks because you can't really tell, but they're faded. I've got some new rust-free black lug nuts to go on it before I sell it. And yeah, we're just gonna clean out the whole inside of it, do one more farewell video, and she will be for sale. The Jeep will be coming in, and the suspension and the axles will be going under the knife. I'm really getting itchy to do that. I know a lot of you really want me to do that, so we are gonna get that going. And that's kind of the next big project. The 3rd gen is not going anywhere. It's not costing me anything. So it's just going to sit there for a little bit while longer, and we'll get some vehicles out of here. And yeah, I think that is the plan. If you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. This is a lot of what we do. 4x4s, outdoor stuff, DIY fab stuff. So make sure to check out my back catalog of everything, and thank you for stopping by. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn the notifications on, because yes, it's only the 2nd week of the year, but my goal is to drop videos every Sunday evening, so you will get notified when that video goes live. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and yeah, comments down below. Email me, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com, about what shocks you think I should run. Kind of excited to get those ordered and on, even though it's probably going to be a couple months realistically. But yeah, new parts are always fun to get. That all being said, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.